So I was just doing some ring crafting, you know, just living the dream, having a great time when I was browsing the old school subreddit, as you do, because that subreddit is fucking golden for drama and just for laughs. You know, you look at dumb pictures, you look at people getting upset over AHKs getting banned and shit like that. Then you come across some sort of fucking gem. Look at this. OS Buddy is now the official RS client. I clicked on it thinking it's probably just some meme, but some dude, Scott Champion, asked, can you please clarify if OS Buddy mouse keys is okay to use or not? Jagex support. This is Jagex support replying, I would avoid using any shortcuts if you're unsure, as OS Buddy is our official client. What? It can be hard to say right now. So they just Jagex support just said that OS Buddy is the official RuneScape client. Unfortunately, guys, you're going to have to take off your tinfoil hats, because I know a lot of people already believe that OS Buddy is partly owned by Jagex because of like some company that owns OS Buddy that's also owned by someone who's on the board of Jagex, or some crazy fucking conspiracy theory shit right there. So people are obviously going to believe this, but I'm pretty sure it's a typo. I would avoid using any shortcuts if you're unsure, as OS Buddy is not our official client. That's probably what he meant to say. And if you scroll down, you can see Mod Sween, who's a Jagex employee, saying, looks to have made a typo, it's absolutely not our official client, harmless human mistake. I find it pretty funny that this typo comes in amidst all the drama with AHK and Jagex not allowing certain software but allowing OS Buddy, but not allowing OS Buddy's hotkey thing. But you can use the Windows mouse keys, which is the exact same as the OS Buddy mouse keys, but you're not allowed to use OS Buddy mouse keys even though you're allowed to use OS Buddy the client. It is a little bit confusing, except not really. I mean, people are still confused, even though if you just use your eyeballs and read what is said on your news post, you can understand what is and isn't allowed. So I've decided that I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on this and try and clear it up for you guys who are still confused about the rulings of hotkeys. So, historically, we have not given bans for some usage of programmable mouse keys such as AutoHotKey if players kept their usage of such software to an acceptable standard. We would not take action against them. This is no longer the case. So, if you're using a program like AutoHotKeys, you are no longer in a safe zone. You will eventually get caught and get banned. I'm assuming you'll eventually get caught if they're actually actively searching. Maybe they aren't, but either way, it is against the rules to use AutoHotKeys, the program. So, if you were a previous user of this, I would advise you to not use it, because it is now officially against the rules. You may now only use your operating system's official default mouse keys program. So, if you're going to ask Jagex, can I use this, can I use that? If it isn't your operating system's default mouse keys program, the answer is no, you cannot. Action will be taken against your account. This change in how we review macroing reports provides a much clearer line between what is and what isn't acceptable. If you're using your system's default mouse keys program, you are within the rules. I can't really understand how this news post here, which is pretty clear, I don't really understand why it's blowing people's minds. I understand why people are mad against the rule, but I don't understand people that are confused with the rule, because it's not confusing. You're not allowed to use other software other than your default operating system software. So for the longest time, people on Twitter and on Reddit were giving Jagex shit for being unclear about the rules on mouse keys. Pretty much ever since I started playing old school, I've always seen complaints about mouse keys and how the rule isn't clear, because people got their accounts banned for using mouse keys, even though other people don't get their accounts banned for using mouse keys. Now, they have finally laid it out. If you're not using your Windows mouse keys, you're going to get banned unless it is to remap a key to another button. So that's pretty clear, it's pretty understandable. But then comes the people that are upset, and I can sort of understand why, because like it states here, if players kept their usage of the software to an acceptable standard, action wouldn't be taken. So everyone that used all hotkeys or likewise software and kept the usage of it to an extent that wasn't like abusing it and making it unfair to other people that don't use it, everything is always ruined by some piece of shit scumbag degenerate who used this software to an unacceptable standard and used it to get a fuck ton of XP in an amount of time that probably wasn't possible with your hand on a mouse. And now, because of that, this is no longer the case, and everyone who uses it is now running the risk of being banned. A little bit unfortunate, but that's life, you know, shit happens. If you were someone that used all hotkeys or OS Buddy's mouse keys to a standard that was acceptable, and you weren't like abusing it or making it way too good, and you're now upset by it, that you can't use it anymore, it's against the rules officially, I wouldn't be mad at Jagex for doing this. I'd be mad at the people who continue to upvote posts of people claiming to be banned unreasonably by using AutoHotKeys, even though they probably were abusing the shit out of it. And those same people that would upvote those threads, most of which probably don't even use mouse keys, they would complain to Jagex and force them to make a statement that we're looking at right now, and there's no way in hell Jagex would ever allow mouse keys or AutoHotKeys to ever be a thing in the game. You know, that's on the verge of bans. So obviously they're going to say, nope, you're not allowed to use that software, even though they sort of allowed it in the past because people weren't using it to an extent that was considered cheating. A large portion of the community demanded Jagex clear up the rules, and so they have, for the detriment of people who used the software fairly. But like I said earlier, shit happens, it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's time to move on to the next best thing and complain about something else. I was about to make this video public until I went back and watched the Q&A as I was waiting for this video to render then upload, because it takes a while. So I was watching the Q&A, and there they actually addressed the problem with mouse keys, which I wasn't expecting, so that's why I didn't bother looking there before. But AHK did say pretty much the same things I said in this video. If you're using any program other than Windows mouse keys, it's against the rules, and if you get caught doing it, you're going to get banned. And then he also goes on to say that Windows mouse keys is an ease of access piece of software for Windows, designed for people with problems that can't use a mouse. So maybe they've got some sort of hand-eye coordination issue. It's for people with legitimate problems, not for people to use just to get more XP faster.